Understanding self. What is understanding self? This may or may not be the first time you have heard of this, but in the exploration and learning of analyzing people, the understanding self is one of the elements that we need to discover. Understanding self is a spiritual and philosophical question, which includes an in-depth study and journey. For example, when you are shown the forest or the deep blue sea, it is entirely up to you on how deep you would like to journey in, and the kind of experience you want to derive from your journey. Understanding one's self involves awareness. For any ordinary human being, being self-aware all the time, 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, is impossible, and quite frankly, unrealistic. There is a certain level of awareness, as well as a moment of realization. To be self-aware for even 10 minutes is already a great thing. Why is self-awareness hard? Don't worry if you do not feel like you understand or have the right or correct understanding on self-awareness. In fact, nobody ever really does. However, it is not too hard to try to understand once you learn it, because self-awareness is about understanding your own self so you can be an effective and positive member of the community, your family, your company, and generally at life. The moment we are born into this world, we are already fed with information about the rights and wrongs of the world we live in by our parents, media, the education system, and the society we live in. We also tend to consume plenty of information from the internet, which makes not only focusing hard, but also identifying who we are as a person. Our body's main function is to survive, which means that our body will do whatever it takes to survive, stay alive, and be comfortable as much as possible. So when thinking about or understanding self, there are two things we need to look into, which are 1. Ego, which is the state of mind that is the most powerful. Egoist states are what rulers and conquerors have, and will go to great lengths to ensure that their empire remains. Ego is the element to want everything, which is why some people start spending or investing to accumulate wealth for generations to come. 2. Self. An ego mind does not let you become self-aware, because self-awareness is spirituality, and this type of spirituality has nothing whatsoever to do with religion. Spirituality is a way of life, whereas religion is a lifestyle. The body wants its pleasure, whereas the ego wants power, wealth, and control. A good leader of a country or state will lead a life that is not excessive, and really, to live a life that is the exact same one as the average human in that country. What is the point of living in a large mansion or palace when the people in your country live in small squatters? If the purpose of a leader is to serve, then they should not have the entitlement of the state. One must differentiate between ego and self, because ego will blind a person from seeing righteousness and truth. Understanding yourself. The list below can give you an idea of how to understand yourself, but keep in mind that this list is as fluid and torrid as the ocean, and you should look at yourself as the ocean, because the value of self is as deep as the big blue ocean. 1. Desires and interests. 2. Your needs and wants. 3. Passion. 4. Identity. Country, race, language, clan, community, sexual preference. 5. Emotions. 6. Awareness to thoughts. 7. Ideas. 8. Relationships. 9. Your strengths and weakness. 10. Skill. 11. Knowledge. 12. Expertise. Understanding self is a process or exercise that you need to do every day. It is about peeling off your superficial layers and getting lighter as you peel each layer away and feel the peace emanating from within. Understanding self also does not mean that you are foregoing your desires or ambitions, whether personally or professionally. Your motivation increases when you take on a task or project, when you begin to understand yourself. However, do take note that it is not as easy as A, B, and C. As you go on the journey of self-discovery and seeking yourself, the truth about yourself will surface bit by bit. Think of it as mining diamonds. If diamonds can be found anywhere, they lose their value because they are rare and exquisite. It is considered precious and demands a high premium. Self-awareness and understanding self is exactly like the process of mining diamonds. It comes to you a little by little as you journey through life and discover a piece of you. You will value this piece more profoundly. Understanding self for your career development. Knowing yourself not only extends value to your relationships, but it also enhances the partnerships and your ethics in your career. By being self-aware, it can help you make thoughtful career decisions and plan a career development path suitable for you. Pivotal as well for you is establishing your career goals and things that provide you with joy, fulfillment, as well as passion. Self-awareness also means pinpointing what kind of environments and work cultures that you thrive in, because all of these elements will enable you to focus on a career path that has many opportunities, that have the kind of environment and culture that will help you thrive, grow, and learn. Some of us prefer routine with very minimal disruption. We like order, routine, going in at a certain time and leaving at a certain time, because it enables us to pursue other passions and obligations. Some of us prefer an environment that is fast-paced, full of energy and unpredictability. Uncovering yourself. Realizing your talents. To unlock what your talents are, if you don't know it already, or having fully explored it, you can think about the significant achievements in your life and why you achieved it. Challenge what you have in life now. Question why these elements are significant. Run down what you have gained from them and how they impact you and the profession trajectory that you seek. Understand your personality classification. Of course, someone's personality gets the biggest chunk in understanding self, simply because your personality can provide the elements needed to establishing and perceiving why you have inclinations to act or respond with a specific goal in mind, and help distinguish the sorts of workplaces you flourish in. To find out the classification that best describes you, it is always possible to look for tests, such as the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. Doing this can help you understand yourself better and work towards refining your career goals so it is more aligned to what you like, what you can do, what you are interested in, and where your passions in life are. Understanding your values and motivations. These are also indicators of a successful career development. We all get motivated based on various different things, although money is the most common of all. But what other motivations would you consider as part of the factors for your strive to do better? What are these elements that you could consider from the foundation of your career success? Understanding these elements would help you find and stay in a job that you feel satisfied at the end of the day. Auditing your capabilities and expertise. Part of understanding one's self is also understanding and exploring what you are good at, where your strengths lie, and what are your fortes. What aptitudes and characteristics do you have because of your examination, side interests, or even paid or intentional work involvement? If you want to find out, you can utilize the Vitae Research Development Framework to map your current competencies, attributes, and capabilities. Understanding your learning style. The path towards career development is paved with plenty of learning opportunities, so identifying your most effective and procrastination-free learning capacity can help you pinpoint what kind of training or course you can and should undertake so that you can develop your capabilities and expertise efficiently and effectively. Again, you can use a variety of tools in determining the learning style that best suits you, and a powerful one is the Learning Style Questionnaire, Honey and Mumford, 1982. the importance of understanding self. So what happens when you know yourself? Why is it so important to know yourself? Here are some of the benefits. You are happier. It's a fact. You will be happier when you can express who you are in a song, in art, in music, in words. When you express your desires, you will also be more likely to get what you want. You have fewer conflicts. These conflicts are more internal conflicts that you have with your inner self. When your actions outside are in tandem with your internal feelings and beliefs and values, you have lesser inner conflicts to deal with. You are better at decision making. Knowing self means you are also sure of yourself, and this makes it easier for you to make better, informed choices about everything that happens in your own life. This can be anything from small decisions, like what color to paint your walls, to big decisions, like who to marry. Your internal compass gives you a set of invisible guidelines that your mind processes to help you solve these issues. You gain better self-control. You have a better ability to resist bad habits simply because you know yourself better. You are also inclined to develop good ones. Self-control also helps you gain better insight to know which of your values and goals that activates your willpower. You rarely give in to societal pressure. Knowing yourself also means your values are grounded and you know what your preferences are. You will be firm with your no rather than let peer or social pressure give into you saying yes. Better tolerance and understanding. Your awareness of your own struggles and foibles make you more perceptive of other people's needs. You can also emphasize better with the problems and needs of other people. Vitality and pleasure. Being you in all its simplicity and truthfulness enables you to be more alive and also enables you to engage and experience life on a larger, richer, and more exciting scale. Stoic values and ideas in understanding self. Value. The only one good thing is an excellent mental state, which is rationalized by ethics and reason, and this is the main thing that can ensure an individual's everlasting bliss. Money, success, fame, and other material items may only give us temporary joy, but make it hollow inside. There is nothing wrong with any of these. You need things like this to survive in the world and form a good life, but excessive pursuit of these things will only lead to long-term damages. We will not feel a sense of fulfillment. Fulfillment and happiness can only be achieved through a rational state of mental excellence. Emotions. Our judgments are the architects of our emotions. This judgment is how we think something is good or bad, that is going to happen or already happening. Oftentimes, our mistaken judgments are the cause of negative emotions. However, as we know in Stoicism, the only things we can control are our own thoughts and actions. So keeping this in mind, these judgments are within our control, which means so is our negative emotions. Stoicism, despite the popular opinion that it is an emotionless school of philosophy, is anything but emotionless. Stoicism principles are not repressive or denying anyone of their emotions. Stoicism instead views emotions as something entirely different. In following Stoic principles, you do need to overcome negative and harmful emotions that are a result of mistaken judgment, and at the same time, embracing the positive emotions. For example, you replace anger with happiness. Nature. Living in agreement or in harmony with nature is the Stoic principle of attaining the good life. We need to acknowledge that we are all but a small entity of the large universe. We are all small cogs in the big scheme of life, and in order to live the good life is to live according to or in line with nature. Nothing can be picked up from endeavoring to oppose these bigger procedures, with the exception of displeasure, dissatisfaction, and frustration. While there are numerous things on the planet that we can change, there are numerous others we can't, and we have to comprehend this and acknowledge it. Control. One primary principle that Stoicism rallies are the things in the life of what we can control and what we cannot control. Our thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires, and actions are all things that are within our control. The external processes, other people's reactions, the results, consequences, objects, are all outside our control. Our unhappiness, most of it at least as a result of confusing these two categories, thinking of the things that we have control, but in reality, we do not. Thankfully, one thing that we happily do have control is the guarantee of a good, happy life. The three popular Roman Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, offers a wide range of advice that is practical even for modern society. These writings were written with the sole purpose of helping people in their everyday lives and understanding self-worth. Seneca, in the later years of his life, living quietly in his country estates, wrote two of his most famous books, The Natural Questions, an encyclopedia of the natural world, and his letters to Lucilius, which details his philosophical ideas and thoughts. Marcus Aurelius was also known as the Philosopher King until his death. He wrote the book Meditations as his own journal for self-improvement and guidance. Epictetus, born a slave, but eventually rose to become a great Greek Stoic philosopher. His teachings and philosophy were written down and published by his pupil in books known as Discourses and Enchiridion.